can someone do we have to make a motion to call to order, or do I just say
No.
call to order? Okay, then
No.
I need somebody to make a motion to approve minutes from last month.
So moved, it's Angel.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Abby. Okay, so do we have any visitors? I don't think so, maybe?
Oh,
Okay, great. Old business, rooftop lighting update.
I will make this quick and short. I don't have an update for you, so move on to
Okay.
the next one.
One of these days, Eric.
One of these days, yes.
One of these days. District event updates. We'll talk about the gazebo series first.
Gazebo series. We are halfway through. This week is Jake's Lake, which we normally is our biggest crowd. They'll fill up the street. Our second ad in the Webster Kirkwood Times was last Friday, but everything's going well.
Excellent. The other thing, we're talking about the holiday event, which Fran has been so patient in trying to send out suggested names. A very late addition from my staff came Webster Winter Wonderland or Webster Wonderland. I will add to the list.
Well, the city already uses Webster Wonderland
Oh, so
when they do just their promotional messaging. It's not for a specific event. You know, you hear the radio ads and the ads on TV.
okay. Maybe that's
Because-
why maybe that's why it sounded good to them.
Probably.
Alliteration is great. I love it. So
Does anybody else have any input? Did you get a chance to read all my emails?
I read all the emails and I thank you for putting those together. And it's a tricky thing because it's not a festival, it's not a walk, it's not a stroll necessarily, unless it is something that we're doing with businesses that I didn't remember. It's like, it's Santa. Like, you know, did you put
No,
anything down?
we did talk about engaging all the businesses.
Okay. I mean,
Because
if it is-
you can't really call it that without their engagement.
right. So I just didn't know if that was part of the plan. Somebody else had mentioned a North Pole since it's going to be Santa. You know, he's going to be there if that, I forget. I know we talked about games and we talked about possible rides or possible animals. Carolers possible. So that was the only other thing that I'd heard was a potential for a North Pole, kind of a nod.
Yeah, the youth group that sang last year are gonna sing again this year. Santa is confirmed. I do have information on the carnival rides.
Okay.
So should we talk about that?
Yep.
I got a quote from Peter from it's not his business, but it is his family that runs the business, his sister and possibly other siblings. And then I went and talked to him to get the scoop. Because of the time of year, they would not have enough staff to do 2 different locations. So he said, and the one that they would like to do because of the way that it takes less staff to run and set up, because pretty much comes on the trailer and sets up from there as opposed to piece parts that have to be unloaded and assembled, is the Ferris wheel. We will put the Ferris wheel on, not on Summit, but on East Lockwood, where we talked about the smaller rides. That's the link, not the link, but the video file that I sent to everybody. It's like a minute, but it talks about carnivals in general, but it's a picture of the actual Ferris wheel so you can see what it looks like. It's a turnkey operation. They bring the ride, they bring the people, they bring the generator, the people run it, they take it down. We don't do anything. It's $15,000. So that's that.
so just to chime in,
Reactions?
just real quick, you have that money, but it is obviously a large chunk of what your fund balance would be. So just to give you all
Yeah,
that.
I think it's too much, but that's just
I
me.
think it's too much to start a trend of 15 grand every year.
Could you charge for the ride? Like they buy tickets?
Good. You'd have to have somebody do that, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Food for thought.
You can also get sponsors for the event. I mean, that's how we help pay for gazebo series. You could get, individual amounts from businesses. That's what Old Webster does to pay for theirs, to help pay for theirs.
Fran, typically on your gazebo series, how much are you guys, I mean, are you guys even pulling in anywhere near that, or are you with the sponsors?
We got about 10 grand this year.
Okay.
And that's with an established event series, like this just mean,
This will be new. Of
yeah,
course, the gazebo series at one time was new. Just depends on what you guys want to do. I mean, it could build, but you have to be patient.
yeah, but is it also on this committee that's going out and getting the sponsors and getting everybody's participation and finding the staff to sell the tickets and things along those lines?
Yes,
Yeah, see, so I that's my concern, is if it's back on this committee to figure all that out, considering we can't even figure out a name really easily. That's my concern.
well, it's self-serving. But for the gazebo series, there's 2 people that go out and do all that, and you pay them.
Fran, it's you and who? I'm sorry.
Dale.
Dale.
Dale takes, I call him the band wrangler. He takes care of all the bands and all the music and the sound. And I do everything else.
Yeah.
Discussion? What do you guys?
Just getting all the information here, what are you guys charging for that, for you two to do it?
Between the 2 of us?
Yeah,
Close to $7,000.
okay. So then you're upwards even, well, you get 10, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, because then we'd still be at right around $10,000 that we're paying out someone to do the work. And then also, you know, if we say we're only making 10, you know, we're only gonna make 10 grand off of this, you know, hopefully, then we're still gonna be paying close to 7 grand for, you know, hiring you guys to do it, and then also the additional on the Ferris wheel, so it almost doesn't make sense.
Right now, the only expense you have for vendors, for lack of a better word, that are attending is Santa, because the youth group is local and not charging.
Sorry, can you say that again? I had a guy blown leave.
I said, right now, all you have is Santa. That is a cost, because the youth group that's singing is not charging, they're local.
My
I'm
concern,
fine with whatever, y'all decide.
yeah, that's,
My thoughts are it's not so much if we like bit the bullet and did it this year, it's about what the strategy is going to be next year and how to, because I mean, we're such a short amount of time off from this to like make this kind of a decision on who's going to be there and how. It's almost, if we're going to do it this year, we have to bite the bullet and then kind of figure it out for the next years. But if you don't charge this year, why are you charging next year? So it's kind of a double edge, because there's nothing wrong with trying to solicit businesses to try and offset some of this and sell tickets, but can we get that together now? I don't think we can.
yeah, I don't feel like that there's a big investment right now. And that's that if we, yeah, I just feel like there's not that many people talking about this or invested in it. And yeah, so I just don't know that there even is the interest there. I mean, if there was with the tree lighting, I think we've been going in circles about this for this month and last month. And I just, it doesn't seem like there's enthusiasm or interest in making this anything big this year, or maybe people just don't have the time or the attention. So
I agree with you on that. This is John.
Well, it seems like, Madam Chair, that you've got on the straw poll here, it pretty much sounds like we're not doing the Ferris wheel, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think not doing the Ferris wheel, I think I think for this year, I think we figure out a name so that we can name it. I think it'll be nice. It's a little different from last year, and then we regroup and figure out what we'd like to do moving forward. If we even think there's a need to do something on our side of town. I don't know that anyone is sitting around wringing their hands like, oh gosh, we're waiting for the lighting. I mean, it was beautiful and it was lucky, but I don't know that we feel like we know what they need and what we can put our time and attention into right now. And so I'm okay to have it be a little quieter this year as we sort of regroup and figure it out, because I think it's going to take some enthusiasm and leadership of, somebody around this table right now. And I just don't know that anybody has that currently. I do not. I don't not have enthusiasm, but I don't have a creative bone going on right now to figure out how to make this something else right now.
Madam Chair, just to add in for the event, we do have Parks will be lighting the park. So I've talked with them. You'll have other trees, not just the small tree lit. So the park will be lit up. I think what I'm hearing from everyone is just really, is there a desire? And we've talked about this, to connect with the business community and try to market this as a shopping day in Old Orchard, right? An intentional shopping day. We certainly can do that with some of the marketing. Jenny Starkey's reached out because last year you had a stand-up TV, live TV on one of the morning shows. I think it was on Channel 4. I can't remember. I know, John, your team was going to do it, and then I think Union ended up being involved in the final product. But the point being is, we've looked at some of those efforts. So if we want to brand it in some way as an intentional shopping day with this nice singing and tree lighting event sort of at the end, I think it's doable, but I look to Fran and to you all if that's doable. So
yeah, I mean, I think we just name it, and that's what we have our sort of schedule of what we've talked about with the carolers. And are they officially like flicking some lights on, or it's just already going to be because it's the holiday? Well, yeah.
We had figured a tree lighting, so we plan to have all the power, and we'll check all the lights this year. And so someone can flip the switch. We'll figure out who that is. So
great. So Fran, do you have the list of names or did anybody talk about, like, look at the names and have opinions on the names, just so that we can have that done, so we can possibly talk about marketing and moving ahead on this?
I got feedback from Bob Weber and John Barr that they liked Holiday Festival.
Great, let's do it. Do we need a vote?
If everyone's good with it, we're good. So,
and is it the Old Orchard Holiday Festival, or is it just...
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great.
All right, there we go.
Anything else around this?
Just again, the update, we have got all the things for lighting taken care of. So the poles and then in the park.
Okay, excellent.
Can I ask one more question? What was the decision on how the businesses are doing? Are we any plans with that other than we're having it? Or I asked because if we're going to do stations like we talked about, and want to make sure that at least we get dog treats or something to be a part of this. So
I think we'll leave it up to individual businesses, that we can let them know that we're doing this on this particular day. This is sort of the time frame that we've got the lighting and the carolers, and during the day, if they would like to, do something special, or just let your staff know that it might be a bigger day, and you could advertise yourself that as part of the winter festival. Sorry, is that what you call it? Is that what we said? That you're doing this additional thing, we might end up,
all right, I'll probably just make treat bags or something and bring that.
I think that'd be great.
Okay.
I think Fran and I will work on getting an email sort of, here's what's happening on that day, out to all the businesses in Old Orchard. And so
just encourage them if they'd like to participate. And then Fran, you've always great if individual businesses sort of put out what they're doing, you sort of like reshare it on Old Orchard or whatever. Like, we can all, and if we end up with, if people want to maybe let you know that there's something really out of the ordinary special at their time, maybe we do have a list of events as it gets closer, because we do have a few months to put that together. If there's something really bigger than just stop by your store, we could look at doing that.
And
we'd also talked about since trying to publicize it in some way, putting together a graphic so you could have window posters. I did talk to the graphic artist that worked on the gazebo series, and she is available.
Okay,
Folks, I would just encourage us, as staff, we can handle that. It's not a lot of money out of your budget. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
appropriate for the event. We just get it put together, and you also have
Yeah.
those gang ads in the Webster Kirkwood Times that the district sponsors and such, so businesses can be in that as well.
all of that sounds great and lovely for advertising, etc. Okay. New business.
We have one piece of new business, Madam Chair, and I will just quickly pull this up. We do have a facade grant. Sorry, you're all seeing my email. We'll start with this one. There we go. We had a facade grant, which I believe was emailed out to you all from John from his business, and I will just quickly run through it here. It's over, I believe this is the old Serendipity building. If I'm correct, John, you can correct me if I say anything wrong here. The facade grants are up to a $2,000 matching grant. It's in your budget. It's first come, first serve. We budget for one, but you have plenty of money. So I don't think if others want to do this, don't be afraid. We can always add some in because you have plenty of savings. So this is John's plan for 8126. And then I'll just briefly show you, this is the current storefront. And then the renderings of what is going to be done are right here. From staff level, we have looked at this and looked at the guidelines of the grant program. And there is no issues from our end. Obviously, John would work with planning and development for all the permits he needs to make the changes to the storefront, if any, are necessary. But from the grant perspective, we have no reason to say no. So it comes to you all just for your assent if you want to have him go forward or if you need more information or such. So I'll pause there and answer questions.
I'm standing in front of it right now. If anybody wants to see what the finished product looks like. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we need a motion to approve? If so, Angel will make
Yes.
that move.
Yes, please.
Then we need a second. And I can't do it as the chair, right?
You can do it, Alan. Yes, you
Okay,
can.
I'll second.
Yep. And so we just need a vote real quick. I know John will obviously abstain since it's his business, but for the rest three of you, I'm assuming you would agree, but
I would agree.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you. And Fran will make sure John is marked as abstaining since it's his
All right.
business. So thank you.
All right. I'm trying to get back to my agenda. My view has changed.
It is city update, BDC update. I'm sorry.
BBC update. Okay, BBC update.
So we had the coffee the other last week, and I really want to 2 weeks ago, I think it was now. I want to thank the folks that did come out. It was much smaller as I figured it would be in August, but it was really great to see business district owners talking together. It was really, Old Webster, some folks that haven't been, and some of the others were there, some other businesses, and I think there was really a good connection across some of those. Fran, I'll turn to you if there's anything I missed about that update.
No, a lot of that was happening on, and it was really good for, there were several old orchard businesses that weren't familiar with the Crossroads district at all. And of course, Crossroads was represented with Julia there, so it was a lot of good cross things going on.
Awesome.
The next coffee will be in February, and it'll have a theme, probably a class. I think a lot of it's about marketing and how do small businesses, if they need just in-house marketing help or exposure to some of the potential marketing agents around town or business possibilities. So.
All right. Any questions? All right, city update.
I'll turn to Councilman Smith first.
Thank you. Good morning. Just a couple of things. At the last city council meeting, we went through an update with Maura Perry about the code enforcement. That was very informative. Let us know the process that those code enforcements are done. And we're still working with fielding questions from some of the community about the potential aquatic update. So that's getting very, very interesting. I believe Laura Arnold gave me an update that there was 11 Good Neighbor Awards potentials. So we'll probably be working on that for the next meeting. Other than that, I have nothing else, but I will encourage you guys to, if you have any questions or concerns about the aquatic update, to get in touch with me or another councilman to get those questions answered.
All right. Any questions? I don't know where this would be in, but at the last meeting we talked about chess tables. Did anybody, was there any research on that, or did we move anywhere on that?
So Madam Chair, this commission did send a letter to Parks Department. And I talked with Parks Director Scott Davis. We've been really enmeshed in the Aquatic Center bond and getting that pulled together for council. I think we'll probably have a response back next month.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, in the conversation with him, he's very open to it. Part of the reason they've never done it is usually there's not been a buy-in from any group. It's just an expectation that Parks comes up with, tables. So in our letter, we did indicate, given the potential for some foot traffic, that the district may be willing to help with that, and then also maybe pursuing Webster U, Webster High, some of those chess clubs and such. So,
Okay.
so I think there's real openness there. It's just a matter of those details. But.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. The next thing I've got is just setting just reminding that the next meeting is in October, unless anybody has anything else at this time. Okay, then I just need somebody to make a motion to adjourn.
It's Angel, so moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Abby. All right, we'll see you all back here in October. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks all.
Right, good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.